I think the first thing I would tell you is that imposter syndrome is definitely not uncommon, especially in an industry like fashion. I mean, literally, this whole industry is about dressing up, changing your mood based on what you're wearing, how to translate an image based on style. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri in the 90s. When I first started coming to Fashion Week, I was waiting for someone to tell me that you're not supposed to be here, that's not your seat. Even now that I've worked in fashion for nearly 2 decades, I'm still sometimes like, oh, is this where I'm supposed to sit? Is someone gonna ask me to move?
When I was 18, I moved to France on my own. I remember having Paris Fashion Week going on, and I would go to the events, not like go to the events, but I'd show up at the events and would like stand against the guardrails and would like try to peek in as like models and like designers were coming in and out, and I was just so fascinated by the whole thing. I've always loved fashion, and so it's always had been some far off dream. So it's like still so crazy to me that I even get to go. Like it's so bizarre, and I can't fully like wrap my head around it. I feel like an imposter there.
I didn't have a traditional background in it. I didn't have a traditional formal education. So I think I like almost even discredited myself. And I think that is just kind of total bullshit. Like you can't let that get in the way of what you know you're capable of.
Hey guys, and welcome to day 2 of Fashion Week. My bathroom is literally so small. I'm gonna put my matcha inside the sink because the sink isn't big enough to hold it on the outside. Today I thought I would take you guys along on a little work day in my life. Although it's a bit of a special work day because it's literally the middle of Fashion Week. Today is definitely my most packed day of Fashion Week. I have some styling sessions, I have photo shoots, I'll be running all around town, I have some fashion shows. Really the vast majority of my job is not this glamorous at all. It is sitting in front of a camera, talking to it, and then editing it for like 30 hours. That's me, being glamorous. Just nearly knocked over my computer by pulling this headphone out. But I thought it would be fun to take you guys along on a little bit more of like the stylist / model part of my life, because honestly I'm just excited for it. Last night I was laying in bed and overthinking things, per usual. I was thinking about how I'm honestly kind of nervous to make this video and to share this part of my life, in part because I feel like I don't deserve it. I do think imposter syndrome has held me back for a lot of my life. Even when I was interning as a freshman in college, I worked for like Rosamund Pike and Rachel McAdams managers. Because I felt like I didn't really deserve to be there, I never took full advantage of my internships because I would just go and do my work quietly, hand in everything on time. I would never ask for anything more. I would never ask for more responsibilities. I would never ask for a referral to somebody who I really admired in the industry. I would never ask to go on set, which is what I really wanted to do at that age. For so long, I acted as essentially a gatekeeper for myself. Even though other people believed that I could eventually make it in the film industry, I told myself I never could, and so I never went out there and tried. I never took a risk on myself because I just felt like I didn't deserve it. YouTube has definitely helped with a lot of my imposter syndrome because it's just something that I get to do alone in my bedroom. But I realized yesterday at my first day of Fashion Week, that feeling of the imposter syndrome came back so hard, and I spent the entire day yesterday just being afraid that somebody would notice that I didn't belong. I preemptively stopped myself from introducing myself to people that I really, really admired or having interesting conversations because I told myself they would never want to talk to me because I'm just Ashley. So one of my goals today is to spend less energy telling myself that I don't deserve any of this and spend more energy just trying to do as good a job as possible. Yeah, I don't know. I know that Fashion Week isn't the most like hashtag deep thing in the world and it's not too big of a deal, but I thought it could be a good opportunity for me to kind of build some confidence in myself. I think for a long time I have been very self-deprecating on the internet and I thought that it was good to like bring myself down because that's like relatable. But I've been hoping that this year maybe I can be a little bit more confident in myself, confident in my accomplishments. It is so common for young women especially to be told that they need to constantly thank other people for their accomplishments, constantly put themselves down, and I want to find that balance between obviously acknowledging that I'm so lucky to do any of this, but also saying, hey, I'm confident in this. This is my job, this is something I've worked for, and I hope I can do a good job at it. Anyways, I will get changed and then see you guys at the first show. I already got catcalled, and I'm like 5 minutes into my walk to the subway. I love New York. trying to come up with some clever voiceover for this show, but honestly, I think it's just really beautiful. You can see yourself with the architecture and the clothing and the music, how it felt. So enjoy. Anna Wintour saw an outfit that I was in. There was about a 2% chance that she actually liked my outfit and didn't think it was hideous, but a girl can dream. Literally 20 seconds ago in this video, I said that I wanted to stop being self-deprecating. I literally just like, I can't do it. I can't go like 5 seconds without fucking making fun of myself. Why are you like this, Ashley? Why can't you be nice to yourself? Despite saying all of this, I will probably still continue to make fun of myself in the voiceover because my entire inner monologue for 21 years has been putting myself down, and despite the fact that I'm trying to stop that and project like a really confident image online, deep down I'm still just like really insecure. And I enjoy other people being confident, like I'm proud of them, I'm like, go them. But whenever I'm confident, I'm just like, oh, she's an asshole. Anyways, I took some self-timer photos of my outfit literally by balancing my phone on the bottom of a street lamp because despite my best efforts, I am still far too socially awkward to ask somebody to help me. And despite even better efforts, I am still far too single to have an Instagram boyfriend. Hi, for Ashley? Yeah. Believe it or not, I was already running super behind for the day because apparently New York time just moves faster than the rest of time in the world. So I headed over to Midtown for a meeting with Calvin Klein. My hair clips are such a mess. Hi!
How are you, love?
A lot of brands will schedule photo shoots or video shoots during New York Fashion Week because they know a lot of bloggers and influencers are already going to be in town. So I had a photo shoot scheduled with them the next day, but I was also kind of acting as my own stylist, so I had to pick out an outfit to wear. Okay, here is one option. I do really like this top. I was thinking I could like kind of tie it up like this. But I think it would look a lot better with black jeans or a black bottom to kind of tie in the black and red color scheme. Here is the outfit with the skirt. I think this black skirt kind of ties it together a lot better. I am also going to try this on with a different bra to see what we want peeking through the boob area. Okay, here is how it looks with the white bra. I literally just like twisted the top and like tucked it under the bra. It's definitely a little bit more boob-y, but I think for the shoot it looks a little bit more editorial and it ties in with the white of my boots. Here is an option with jeans, really like silhouette, but maybe on somebody else just because I have really broad shoulders. So anything that's cut kind of diagonally across the shoulder really emphasizes how broad my shoulders are. And I feel like I look a little bit unbalanced, question mark.
Ash, we do.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Okay, so I decided to try out this denim vest, and I honestly did not think it was gonna be this cute, mostly just because I remember denim vests from back in like the Abercrombie Aeropostale days. But I decided to tuck it in, and we're actually gonna tailor the sides of it so it's very like bodycon and it looks more like a one-piece denim dress, which I think will be really cute. And I feel like with these boots, it's very like pop star, hopefully.
Wednesday morning.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, amazing. Thank you. One outfit change later, I was off to my next show of the day, which was Cynthia Rowley. I met David Dobrik for the first time. He was really nice, and he talked about how heavy my camera was, and that was the whole conversation.
Started in the basement, supposed to be a hidden door. Took us to the first floor, a place I've never seen before, a place I've never seen before.
This was definitely the most fun runway of New York Fashion Week. All the models were doing like very sassy 90s supermodel walks. Some of them were like throwing their coats at audience members. At one point, the models started popping up out of the audience and like taking off their coats and then strutting down the runway. And it was just like really fun. Everybody was looking around to see where the next model would pop up. We have part of the fashion show. She threw her coat at Derek.
It's a nice thing to do to give it back. Unless you want it. Do you want the coat, Ash?
If they don't want it back, I'll take it. Thanks.
Look, I'm vlogging too now. I'm teaching everything you know.
I'm literally in the bathroom of a church right now. I feel like maybe it's a little bit sacrilege to vlog in here, I'm so sorry, but I'm about to go to the Rodarte show, which is literally inside the church. I made a quick pit stop with Derek for some reason to go and say hello to Elon Musk's literal mother because she released a book. So anyways, now I'm gonna go to this show. I'm so excited because Rodarte has the most insane gowns. So the Rodarte show was absolutely my favorite one of Fashion Week. It took place in, like I mentioned, a literal cathedral. They had organ music playing, which was copyrighted, so I couldn't use it in this video, but it almost gave me like funeral procession vibes, except a funeral procession for your rich husband who was recently mysteriously murdered. Everything from the lace detail to the headpieces. It was pure like beauty. That's all I can say about it. Okay, I just got out of the Rodarte show. I want to get married in those dresses, and I want to be buried at my funeral in those dresses. I think like every show I have a growing appreciation, not only for the models and for the designs, but for like the production of it all and for like the set and the music. It's kind of like a film or like a play, but just a fashion version of that. Like it evokes a feeling. Anyways, the last thing on my agenda today is that I'm going to a Marc Jacobs fitting. Currently, I am in Midtown heading up. Their show is tomorrow and it is the last show of Fashion Week. Literally, like, what are the words coming out of my mouth? Can you believe that's a real fucking sentence that I said? This is absurd.
But we have these pods that are stuck, and if you want to keep them.
So here I'm just like playing a giant game of dress up all over again. I got to pick a couple pieces to style for the Marc Jacobs show, which was the next day. Here is option number 1. I really like this dress. I don't know if you can see my nipples through it because it's kind of lacy and I'm not wearing a bra right now. Okay, this is option number 2. I actually think that I would probably wear it with these shoes. These are my like over the knee boots and I think they actually look really cool with longer dresses. This coat has the coolest lining on the inside. It's like a checkerboard that kind of just peeks out. Okay, we finished it off with this silver bag and now we're gonna shoot some photos.
I had a dream I could buy my way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent that on a necklace. I told God I'll be back in a second. Man, it's so hard not to act reckless. To whom much is given, much is tested. Get arrested, guess until he get the message. I feel the pressure under more scrutiny.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the comfy zone. It's around 11 p.m. and honestly I am about ready to pass out. I talk to way too many people for my introvert brain to handle, but I realized I didn't want this video to come across ever as me bragging or as me setting some like unattainable influencer life standard. That is never my intent. I really wanted to vlog New York Fashion Week because I personally was so inspired by shows like The Carrie Diaries and Jane by Design, and even like seeing these fictional characters on TV doing cool fashion things inspired me to want to do it. So I don't know, hopefully it is inspiring to you guys to see me, a real life human, doing some of this stuff. In last week's video, I interviewed a lot of people in the fashion industry about how they got their start, but tonight I thought I would just kind of interview myself and give you guys my advice in case you are interested in a career in social media. My number 1 piece of advice for getting into social media is to start now. That is one of the amazing things about making YouTube videos or making fucking TikToks, is that you can do it anytime that you want from your bedphone with literally the shittiest camera. You don't need to wait for some like Hollywood executive to greenlight your script and then cast people for 5 years and then end up canceling the project because of budget cuts. Like, you have the control to do it on your timeline, and that means you have the control to start making videos now. I think human nature is also to procrastinate and to find excuses because starting something is scary. So a lot of people will say, hey, I can't start YouTube yet because I don't have the right camera. I can't start it yet because I haven't gotten my hair cut. I can't start it yet because I don't have quite enough time. Bitch, I did this in high school when I had 5 jobs and was doing college applications, and then I did it in college while I was graduating in 2.5 years. Was that healthy? Probably not, but it's possible. I know a lot of people always think that it's too late to start on social media, that the market is already full. Like, even when I started in 2015, I thought that I was too late because there was already this super established class of like old school beauty gurus. Who would want to watch me when there was Zoella? It always seems like when you want to start, you're too late to get into it, but then people 5 years from now will look back and be like, oh no, if only I started a YouTube channel in 2020, now it's too late. My third tip is that this industry is about patience and endurance. A lot of people think that they can get into social media and there's gonna be this overnight success, they're gonna be millionaires in like a fucking day. And the truth is that I have been doing this for 5 years at this point, but for the first 2.5 years, I didn't earn any money. So I tell everybody who's interested in social media that you have to be willing to work on this for 2 to 3 years without getting paid. It's a game of endurance. You always have to shoot the gap. There's gonna be like a whole year where you're just putting in an insane amount of work and seeing no returns for it, but you have to keep doing it because that's like the only way that you get to the other side of the gap. Another tip is to always be looking for inspiration and to kind of consume social media with a critical eye. Social media has a very specific kind of language to it, and it took me a while to learn. Like, the pacing that feels right in a YouTube video is very different from the pacing of a movie or a TV show, and some of that comes with practice, but some of it also obviously comes with observing other people. Now when I watch YouTube videos, I'm always thinking about like, ooh, why does this color palette work really well? Why is this like font so good? Why does this intro slap? And sometimes I will even like screenshot certain parts of a video that really inspire me so that I can save it for later and kind of incorporate that into my style. Another tip is to make videos that you genuinely want to watch. I think that is like really when YouTube started clicking for me a little bit more. It was when I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna make videos that entertain me and not like pretend to be this like perfect beauty guru. I'm not gonna pretend to care about making like an October favorites video, and I'm just gonna make shit that is entertaining for myself. And I think people can feel when there's love in your videos, and over time that gets rewarded. Once you get the old social media ball rolling a little bit, an important thing is to learn how to delegate. For a long time, I like clung on to all of my tasks, but eventually you have to realize the value of your own time. And for example, it's not worth it for me to do my own taxes very badly and very confused and get very stressed out by them when I could pay an accountant to do them properly for me and make sure that I don't get audited. Or it's not worth it for me to reply to like thousands of business emails when I have my manager do that now and he does a much better job while I can focus on actually making videos. That being said, it is super important to pick your team carefully. It's important to take multiple meetings so you can compare multiple offers. Read over your contracts carefully. Do not get locked into over a year-long contract, and ideally look for a manager who will work with you on kind of just a month-by-month trust basis. I can go more in depth on that in another video, I think, because this video is getting a little bit long if you guys would be interested. So I will just tell you my final tip, which is that connections in this industry are honestly more about vibing with people than about actually trying to sell yourself. That's honestly something I didn't expect. I always thought that meetings with like brands and production companies would be super high pressure. I would need like a presentation. I would need to sell myself as like a business person. But really, they are also, for the most part, young people. This industry is mostly run by like 20-somethings just wanting to get to know you. A lot of the times when I go into meetings, it's like half talking about business stuff and then half just talking about like movies or trips or interests that we all have. It's always important to show what you can bring to the table and to come across as confident, but at the end of the day, people are always just looking to work with people that they genuinely like, who they feel comfortable around, and who they enjoy the company of. So that is all of my advice. I hope that it helped you guys. I hope that it helps you guys. That being said, I really do not recommend dropping out of school or starting social media at a super young age. I started when I was a senior in high school, and it allowed me time to graduate college before doing this full time, which I really do think helps you like become a regular human being. Social media can also lead to a lot of great other opportunities, and it can also create a skill set that you can use for other brands later, but it is not something that always lasts for forever. So it is important to have like a real fucking childhood and to have a real fucking education before you get into this. So anyways, that's my whole thing. I am going to absolutely crash now, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.